What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're getting into my Week 5 college football predictions. But anyway, let's get into it. Actually, starting out with my Week 4, what I got right and what I got wrong from another crazy week of college football. Starting out the Baylor against Iowa State game. I said this could be a potential upset. Baylor was able to get the job done. Barely there. Clemson also went into overtime against Wake Forest, just barely being able to beat the number 21 team in the league. That was a crazy game as well. The Jayhawks were able to handle their business against Duke, and now they are 4-0. That's pretty exciting for Kansas fans. Michigan State, man, losing by a lot to Minnesota. That is a very disappointing loss for Michigan State. They're going to have to come back from that. I did pick an upset here for the Florida Gators. Gators couldn't come back with the comeback. Just couldn't quite get it done. But Tennessee got the win. Did pick Notre Dame to beat North Carolina. They took care of business against the Tar Heels. The Oregon Ducks I picked to beat Washington State. Barely beat Washington State there. That could have been an upset. Texas A&M I picked to beat Arkansas. That was a crazy game. Arkansas had a chance to win the game, but they doinked it off the top of the upright for a field goal opportunity. You just couldn't quite get the win over Texas A&M, but I got the upset pick right there. Oklahoma I did pick to beat Kansas State. Very huge upset for the Kansas State Wildcats. The Sooners was not expecting that, so huge win for Kansas State, and USC barely survives against Oregon State. That could have been a huge upset. So overall this week, I went 7-3. Not bad. Right now I'm 29-11. Not too bad, but I did get into that double-digit loss column. So hopefully we can turn things around this week and have a better week. But, haven't gotten worse than 7-3 in these first 4 weeks. So that's pretty good, I would say. But anyway, let's get into this prediction. Starting out with Michigan Wolverines traveling to Iowa in a game. Michigan is the number 4 team in the country. Iowa, I just don't believe in Iowa to pull off this upset here. But Michigan always has one of those games where they lose a weird game here. I could see Iowa maybe pulling off this upset, but I don't think it's going to happen. Ole Miss against Kentucky here. The Rebels 4-0, Kentucky 4-0. My, oh my, what a game this is going to be. It's going to start in actually like 15 minutes, so definitely a game worth watching here. I just have to go with slightly the better team, Kentucky. I think that these two teams are very solid football teams, but with Kentucky being slightly the better team, I know Ole Miss is at home. I think Kentucky can pull off a win there, but it is tight between those two. Oklahoma against TCU. Oklahoma's trying to bounce back after a disappointing loss, and I don't think they're going to lose that one to TCU there. I think Oklahoma gets the win. Baylor against Oklahoma State, another big game for the Big 12. The Cowboys are 3-0. Baylor sitting at 3-1. I think that the Baylor Bears are, their one loss of kid came to a very solid BYU team. I think that this team's going to be able to get the job done against Oklahoma State at home and advance to 4-1. A lot of good games on this week. Another good one. Wake Forest against Florida State. We're seeing the Wake Forest team just barely lose to Clemson last week. Florida State has stayed undefeated. But I think that Wake Forest, they very much impressed me against Clemson. And I think that they are the better football team over Florida State. So give me Wake Forest in that game. Kansas, a surprising 4-0 start. Battling out against Iowa State. I think it's going to come to an end against Iowa State. I know Kansas fans probably don't want to hear that, but I do believe Iowa State is the better team there. So I'm going to go Iowa State. This is a very, very intriguing week, guys. This could go south for me. There's a lot of tight battles, but we're going to see. Texas A&M against Mississippi State. Mississippi State's 3-1. Texas A&M's also 3-1. I do think the Aggies are going to advance to 4-1, trying to shake off that brutal loss against Application State. So I do think that Texas A&M is still going to win. Washington State against Cal. Both teams are 3-1, but Washington State's been pretty impressive. They nearly beat Oregon in their previous game. So Washington State been a good football team. I think that they're going to be able to beat Cal in that game. Clemson against NC State, another big game for Clemson to prove they got the win over Wake Forest, and now they host NC State. I do think that Clemson's just going to have enough in this game. I think they match up a little bit better with NC State than they do with Clemson. So I'm going to go Clemson. And here's this game, which is postponed, so I'm not going to. So, yeah, it's the hurricane thing down there in UCF. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully you all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your Week 5 predictions. And anyway, peace.